Note, this video contains sensitive and potentially disturbing content. Viewer discretion is advised.
Maybe she fell off the balcony, but she's stiff.
Okay, is she breathing?
I don't know if she's straight down.
This is the phone call that was made to 911 after 40-year-old Tamla Horsford was tragically found not alive in the backyard after a birthday party. But what happened? Hi guys, and welcome back to our true crime series, Case Closed. Today, we'll be discussing the tragic case of Tamla Horsford, a mother of 5 who died under mysterious circumstances during a sleepover at a friend's house. So, let's get into it. Tamla Horsford was born on October 10, 1979, in Kingstown, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. She was a devoted mother and active member of her community in Forsyth County, Georgia. Tamla was known for her outgoing and friendly personality and was loved by everyone who knew her. On the day before the sleepover, Tamla was invited to a birthday slumber party to celebrate her friend Jean's birthday. The party was at Jean's house in Cummings, Georgia, and consisted of 10 women and 2 men. The men were Tom Smith, a husband of one of the women, and 27-year-old Jose Barrera, Jean's boyfriend. At the time, Jean's aunt also lived in the basement of the house. When Tamla arrived too, the party around 8 p.m. with a bottle of tequila, everyone started drinking and having fun. Throughout the entire night, photos and videos were taken that showed Tamla happy and smiling. At around 11:30 p.m., guests that weren't staying the night began to leave, and the remaining women and Jose, one by one, went to bed over the next couple of hours. It was reported that Tamla wanted to stay up a little bit longer. The last person to see Tamla was Bridget Fuller, who was picked up by her husband at 1:47 a.m. She says Tamla was eating and told her she was planning to step outside on the balcony to smoke a cigarette, like she had done throughout the entire night, and then go to bed. However, the next morning at around 8:45 a.m., Jean's aunt saw Tamla laying face down in the backyard, in the grass not moving. She ran to get Jean and Jose, who then called 911 before 9 a.m. At one point, Jose said, "She's not moving one bit, she's stiff." And at another time, Jean said, "She was drinking, and it looks like, I'm guessing, maybe she fell off the balcony." Police were called to the scene, and an investigation was launched into Tamla's death. However, from the beginning, there were concerns about the handling of the case. The police did not immediately treat Tamla's death as a homicide, and the scene was not properly secured or investigated. In addition, the other women at the sleepover were allowed to leave the scene without being questioned or searched. Tamla's phone and other personal belongings were also missing, raising suspicions that someone may have tampered with the evidence. 4 months later, the autopsy results came back and showed she had suffered multiple blunt force injuries, including a broken neck and cuts and bruises on her face, torso, and the rest of her body. They also discovered she had 4 types of hemorrhages in the skull and brain, and a dislocated right wrist. She also had a laceration on the right ventricle of her heart. Her toxicology report tested positive for THC and Xanax, and her blood alcohol content was 0.238, almost 3 times the legal limit to drive. Nobody else at the party had been tested for drugs, and authorities didn't test the contents of the bottle of tequila. As news of Tamla's death spread, many people in the community began to raise questions about what had happened. There were concerns that Tamla may have been the victim of foul play, and that the police were not taking the case seriously. This is because the balcony itself was only roughly around 20 feet off the ground, and FCSO ruled Tamla's death as accidental. In response to the public outcry, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, GBI, was brought in to take over the investigation. The GBI conducted a thorough examination of the scene and the evidence, and eventually ruled Tamla's death as accidental. After Tamla case was officially closed in February 2019, the report and death investigation were made public, which raised the question, how could Tamla have fallen over a nearly 4-foot railing without anybody seeing or hearing her? And could a 20-foot fall cause that many severe injuries and death? The media also suspected it might have been a racist attack, as she was the only black woman there, and the rest of the 10 women and 1 man were also white. However, this is just speculation. Along with having their own suspicions, Tamla's family and close friend Michelle Graves were all told inconsistent stories from the group of women and Jose about what really happened that night. So, in February of 2019, Tamla's family hired an independent pathologist to conduct a second autopsy, who found multiple injuries on Tamla's body that could have only happened after she was already not alive, which indicated that somebody could have thrown her off the balcony. However, FCSO was adamant that all her injuries were consistent with a fall from the second-story balcony. A lot of suspicion was placed on Jose for many reasons. During the investigation, he told police that he touched Tamla's body and moved her leg, trying to see if she was alive. He also stated that he found evidence, which was an unlit cigarette and a lighter, but he had moved them before seeing Tamla's body. Adding to the mystery, there were security cameras at Jean's house pointing directly at the backyard, but they were found to be not working and not recording the night Tamla died. The home had a security system that picked up the back door opening and closing multiple times from 1:47 a.m. to 1:57 a.m. Around 1:47 a.m., the back door opens and was shut again at 1:49 a.m. Then it was opened again quickly again and shut at 1:50 a.m. It was then opened one last time at 1:57 a.m., where it then stayed open all night until Tamla was found the next morning. The autopsy report said that her time of death was speculated to be around 2:30 a.m. However, this is just a speculation. The case of Tamla Horsford is a tragic reminder of the inequalities and injustices that can exist in our society. It is also a reminder of the importance of transparency, accountability, and justice for all victims of crime. We can only hope that Tamla's family and loved ones have found some measure of peace, and that the truth about her death will one day be fully revealed. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.